Hey everyone, welcome to ClickHeads. I'm Eddie the Jump, and today we're going to be talking about CSGO recently breaking its own concurrent player count from 2 years ago, how the hype surrounding Project A's upcoming release helped fuel that, and what that title's impact on the larger FPS marketplace looks to be shaping up to. Now let's begin by looking at what CSGO has recently achieved. In the last 30 days, according to Steam charts, CSGO hit its highest ever concurrent player peak with a whopping 901,305 unique players in February of this year. That is insane, and for those of you who might not understand the context of that, the numbers haven't been anything like this since April of 2016. So why is CS surging so hard in an ever-crowded FPS marketplace, competing directly against other successful and popular games like Siege and PUBG, to name just a few? Well, the answer is complex, but I will make the argument a lot of that has to do with Riot's upcoming tactical shooter, Project A. If the reaction on this channel demonstrates anything, it's that there is a real hunger for this game, as does the millions of views on the teaser trailer. Project A's influence hangs like a shadow over the rest of the market. For the first time since arguably Overwatch's release, there is a major developer coming into the space with serious intentions, and all the other devs have to respond or risk being eclipsed. This brings us to Valve, and I don't think I'm being controversial when I say their attitude towards CSGO has been a bit perplexing. They don't tank the game, obviously, but if you didn't know, Counter-Strike wasn't actually created by Valve. It was a player-generated mod originally, and their behavior towards the game at times has left the fans a bit exasperated, as if it's some sort of ugly ginger stepchild. Here is a game with massive esports appeal that has a scene built from the ground up by almost pure passion for over 15 years, and you cannot say it has ever been as treated well by Valve as perhaps its golden child Dota 2. And if you look at the Steam charts, around June of 2018 was a particular low point for the game, with peak player numbers falling to below half of their current record. This is due to Valve not effectively cashing in on CSGO's initial explosion, where it looked far and away the best FPS esport to play and watch. The game has had its ups and downs. Its skin economy and betting controversies for sure set the game back, and again, part of that responsibility lies with Valve and how they didn't act quick enough to shut down predatory websites and their owners.
And we found this new site.
So how's the game bounced back, and how is Project A a contributing factor to this? Well, let's just think rationally for a moment. If I were a fan excited to play Riot's new game, which I am, I would want to get myself in the groove of tactical FPS by playing the closest game to Project A that I could, so I hit the ground running when the game comes out. And from the very first trailer, it was clear that Riot are going at CSGO with absolutely no shame. This isn't a bad thing, by the way. Competition is good, and we'll return to that concept in a moment. And anyone with a passing understanding of how CS works understood how close the games could actually be, with a few obvious hero-shooter differences. The fact that Riot got CSGO pros and former pros in for playtests should tell you everything you need to know. Henry G is a widely known and well-respected Counter-Strike voice. When you fly him out to play and he tweets afterwards, Project A is the best game he's played since CSGO came out, you're very happy if you're a Riot PR manager. Riot wants Counter-Strike players to know, hey, this game is for you, and that messaging has been heard loud and clear. So many CS players who might not have touched the game in a while, like myself, have reinstalled the game, again like myself, in an effort to acclimatize back into this incredibly hardcore FPS world. I want to be good at Project A. Counter-Strike is the closest game to it in terms of mechanics, so I'll play that to practice. In fact, most of the feedback coming back from playtesters reinforces just how related the games are. Mechanics like movement affecting your accuracy, an economy system, map denial utility like flashbangs, smokes and mollies, the entire bomb defusal game archetype, for instance. These are just some of the biggest overlap points. The subtleties aren't known to everyone yet, but soon they will be, and that hype for this new title is making people play CS again, even if they haven't touched it in a very long time. There is no other game that will prepare you as well. Nobody has really taken a serious stab at a round-by-round economy system and made it work since Counter-Strike invented it way before even the latest title, CSGO. Riot are doing that, and to understand how this system works alongside many other mechanics, there's only one game that will teach you the fundamentals. And trust me on this, as a self-admitted tactical FPS bot, these are not games that you can just play without care and have a great time. If you don't prep or practice, you're gonna get owned. In my case, even if I do that, I still might get owned. My Steam name is not a joke, by the way. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say Project A is solely responsible responsible for the CSGO numbers skyrocketing, but even indirectly, the game's influence can be felt. Remember what I said about competition being a good thing? Well, let me paint this picture for you. Valve is not run by idiots. It's run by very, very smart people, no matter the mistakes that they can make. They know Project A is coming, and to make CS more attractive as more than just a training mode for Riot's game, they have recently seriously upgraded Counter-Strike. The new Operation Shattered Web is a massive content drop for a game that had been starving for this exact kind of improvement package. Quality of life updates, skins, maps, a battle pass system, weekly missions, and progression. These are all things that CSGO didn't have, but the rest of the FPS market was trailblazing to massive profits with. Now, there's two factors here. One, this is a response from Valve to modernize their game in the wider market, as that's where the industry has been leading. These systems are very good at keeping casual players interested in a hardcore title. It's been proven time and time again. There's a reason most of the missions largely don't take place in the competitive mode of Shattered Web. And two, this is very likely going to be the model that Project A is going to adopt moving forwards, for the reasons I just mentioned about market direction. Counter-Strike needs to be a competitor, not find itself lacking features that modern players expect from their games. If you cast your mind back to our previous video where we covered some of the info still dripping through from Project A playtesters, the free-to-play cosmetic economy archetype is what Project A will make its money from. So Valve needed to respond to this specific threat as well as the larger context. And to nobody's surprise, it has worked. CSGO went free-to-play in December of 2018 with the Danger Zone update, but player numbers fell off quite quickly. With Shattered Web, those numbers rose and largely stayed high, because now, just like games like Fortnite helped establish the model for, casuals have something to stick around and do. Sometimes I think this point is lost on viewers of videos like this. If you're watching Clickheads or our other channel, your Overwatch, you're already in a totally different bracket to most gamers. Watching YouTube, getting tips and tricks, watching guides, gaming news, etc. is not actually the majority. I know it seems like that because this space is its own bubble, but if you're in any way trying to get better at a hardcore game and seeking that content out yourself, you are in the minority. We might not care as much about cosmetics in our esports titles, but there is a huge chunk of gamers who will play a game and spend money that do, and that's the point. FPS games are no longer about one-off purchases, they're about continuing engagement, and Shattered Web is Valve's attempt to bring this to CSGO. Competition is good, and directly and indirectly, Project A has made CSGO a better experience. Now, I think in closing, I'll say this. CSGO's numbers have soared not just because of these factors, but because there really isn't any other game that can prepare you for Project A as well as CS can. I'm predicting if Project A takes off, the competition between these two titles for your time and money will only intensify, and that will keep both developers on their toes as they strain to offer the best product possible. As a long-time fan of Counter-Strike and a gamer who is excited for Project A, I couldn't be happier. Let me know how you feel about all this in the comment section down below. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the content on this channel, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you get notified when we upload. Until next time.